Impactors are story changers. This is what the Lord told me a few days ago, and I was like, what? And He said that again. Impactors are story changers. Hi, everyone. My name is Stacey, and I share prophetic words and prophetic teachings as the Lord leads. So, if that is something that you're interested in, please subscribe. Impactors are story changers, and story changers are action takers. This is what God told me again. And He was like, Stacey, if you want to make an impact, you need to change the story. And if you want to change the story, you need to take an action. And I was like, okay, God, amazing word. But can you point me to the scripture, please? And he took me to the story of Zelophahad's 5 daughters. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick summary of the story. So, Zelophahad was a man who came out of the Egypt with Israelites, but he died in the wilderness. He had 5 daughters. He didn't have any sons. So, in those times, whenever a man died, all his wealth and inheritance would be passed down to the sons and not daughters. If he didn't have any sons, it would go to maybe a family member, maybe his brother, or maybe his brother's sons, or whoever is the nearest male relative. Now, Zelophehad's 5 daughters went to Moses with this petition. They thought that even though their dad passed away in the wilderness, they should inherit the land along with the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, Moses and the leaders and elders they didn't laugh at the claim, okay? Moses didn't laugh at this claim. He went and inquired of the Lord. He said that these are the 5 sisters that have come to me with this particular claim, with this particular petition. What should I do? And the Lord said, Zelophehad's daughters are right. God didn't say, hey, Moses, you know the law. I have already given you all the rules. I have already given you all the regulation. No, he didn't say that. He said that Zelophehad's daughters are right and you must give them the inheritance. Wow. They just needed to take a step of faith. They just needed to be bold enough to ask what was already theirs. So if they wouldn't have asked, it would have gone to someone else. What already belonged to them would have gone to someone else if they didn't have enough faith and enough boldness to ask. I feel like this is the place many of us are. God needs you to ask of Him. Okay, God needs you to ask of Him. Now, the things are already yours, but He needs you to take a step of faith to not just ask, but to do what Lord has commanded you to do. Now, in their case, it was asking for the land. In your case, it would be something else. Maybe you register for something. Um, maybe take a step of faith in something that God has asked you to do. Just do it. That is what God is saying. It is already yours. And if it is not, you will be surprised. He will surprise you. You think that that the law would prohibit you? No. The law cannot prohibit what God is. So God is like He's the ultimate authority, okay? So when He passes an order, no law can prohibit it. When He opens a door, no man can shut it. No man. He is the ultimate authority. You are going to an ultimate authority and asking something, making a petition for something. Now, how do you make a petition? With prayer and supplication, like Philippians says that, right? But many of us are in a place where we have already disqualified ourselves, saying that this is not going to happen. God will not do this for me. But God is asking you to take that bold step of faith. He is asking you to come to Him, take instructions from Him, and obey of what He's saying. Okay? Now the story doesn't end there. The story doesn't end there for them. What happens now is Moses is dead and Joshua is the leader. Now they have already crossed the Jordan, and Joshua is giving the land to the people. So he's dividing the land among the people. Now, these Zelophahad's 5 daughters went to Joshua again and told him the entire story and said that the Lord has already passed the law again. Okay, he has already changed the law. He has already given the order that we must get the land. Joshua said, okay, because God has already said that, who am I to even argue it? So see, they didn't just sit there and wait for Joshua to give them the land. They went to him. They went to him again and told him that we are promised this by God. Okay? Remind God what He has promised you. Remind Him of the promises. I feel like, even for me, I feel like sometimes when God gives me a promise, I would just write down in a journal and would just keep the journal somewhere. But I think the Lord is saying for us to ask, to claim those promises again, to claim that promise again, just like those 5 sisters did. He wants to fulfill the promise. He wants to do that for you. But he is asking you to claim that promise again. See, we are partners with God. We are not beggars. Okay? So when he passes an order for us to do something, we must do it because we are partnering with him in prayer and also in action. So our obedience brings the things to reality. You see, God works in mysterious ways, but not like but he's asking you to do something. He works behind the scenes. But there are some things that you need to do, that you need to obey for God. You need to give God something to work with. You need to obey what he's asking you to do. If you want, so for some people, you are telling yourself a story. You are telling yourself a narrative that is not a godly narrative. Now God is asking you to change that narrative. If you want to make an impact in maybe your children's life, your children's life, if you want to leave a legacy, you need to maybe change the narrative that you are telling yourself, about others, whatever it may be. But you need to take an action. You need to take an action. Okay? Okay, guys, that's it for the words. And whatever scriptures I have used in this particular teaching, I'm going to write it down in the description box below so you can go and refer to it. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. God bless you and see you later. And if this blessed you, please comment below. Thanks, guys. See ya.